I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back.
What up, everybody? Sorry we're late. I was waiting for some other people to come in. We have links available if anybody's interested. Maybe we could pop you one. We want to talk a little crap tonight. Yeah. I lost my list. We want to talk about the top 5 things that scares me, us, them, some of them. I don't speak for everybody about the up and coming election and crap maybe hitting the fan. Happy Saturday. We have enjoying her lovely dish of ice cream, Miss Shalisa Shell and Sticky Steve. And down below right now, we have Ohio Wolverine, and he put me up to this chat. So if it goes to hell, blame him.
My fault.
Go to his much bigger channel. What's up?
Hey, I asked you, I said, are you going to do a chat or do you want me to do it? I was totally willing to fall on this sword, but.
I know, but I've been watching so many damn videos on both sides of the crap. I want to get some crap off my mind. I want to send out a warm welcome to P&J's Homestead Adventure. What's up? Awesome channel. Go check them out. Very supportive. The Simple Alaskans, another good channel from Alaska. Mike's favorite place. Too bad he didn't show yet.
Yeah, where the hell is he at?
I don't know. I got a text out and links are sent. Mr. SKS Hugo, always nice to see you, brother.
SKS, what's up, bro?
Mr. Gerald B, what's up, Jezzo? There, I said it.
Jezzo.
County Line Logging, always a pleasure, bro. Nice to see you. What's the first thing on my list that's concerning me? The blatant lying.
Hey, real quick before we get started, Steve, I want to check with you and say let's later on in the chat maybe we can come up with something, and I'm going to do a quick little giveaway.
Cool.
From
Mr. DeLucia.
We'll do it from my sponsor. Yeah. My sponsor is willing to give me stuff to send out. So we'll do a little giveaway later if we get some.
Wow, people. Your channel is growing. You got a sponsor. We're live.
They are a friend, and we're on a mutual thing. I help them out. They help me out.
Awesome.
You know, it's not like I'm making money off of this, but I do get free soap.
Doesn't everybody these days on YouTube? It's kind of rubbing me raw a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy for people, but when every other video is a infomercial, it's like
right. You know, my plans are from, you know, after we've made this little agreement that we're going to, you know, help each other out and do things.
Yes, but
I'm just going to include their name, a quick blip. Hey, this video is brought to you by, you know, Compass Soap Company. That's it.
But there's a difference. You are dealing with a local, private, growing company.
Yeah.
Not a big international company.
No, they're very local, small. They only do internet sales.
Mr. Jay Watterson. So lovely to see you on my chat after you skipped Mike's chat last night. We see where your love lies.
Anybody else say sign in with YouTube to get the chat on YouTube on the panel?
I come straight through StreamYard.
Well, me
What do you
too.
mean?
I was on one. I
I,
clicked
I
on the
mean, I
link to
got
Stream.
YouTube up with the
I'm
chat
gonna
on the
t-
side.
I clicked on YouTube. I clicked on the chat that you sent. I clicked on the link you sent me from StreamYard. And then I was reading the chat on the comments, and it said, I can link StreamYard to YouTube, blah, 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 blah. So I did.
I think
So
they're
now
just
I
starting
think
to
I'm on the YouTube.
advertise more.
Well, I think I'm on the YouTube side of it, but it still says StreamYard. I still have the duck up here, you know what I mean?
I did something different this time. When I went to go into the studio, it asked me, I get 25 cents from credit from StreamYard if I put a link to StreamYard. That's probably what you're seeing.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mess with it.
Where's Chezo going?
Buying a lottery ticket. I hope he hits.
I hope he hits too. I need some money.
So anyhow, personally, I'm getting a little sick of the lying and stuff because every time I go research it, it turns out to be exactly opposite of what they're saying. Some on one side, a shit ton on the other side.
Hello to the Simple Alaskans. How are we doing tonight?
Good channel, Mike.
Yeah.
Little bitty
Do
cabin out
you
in
have
the middle of
any
nowhere.
type of example or anything to start us out with? To give us
Horses. I screwed up.
Just
Steve.
a crap about don't
should-
vote for Donald Trump because he wants to take away your Medicare and your retirement and stuff like that.
Stevie, I think I screwed up, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Well, you're still here.
I can't click on anybody's channel.
on what, the chat?
Yeah.
It doesn't let us do that
It
anymore.
doesn't let you do that anymore. They changed it back to what it used to be.
And then
Are you kidding?
they brought it back and then they took it away again.
So how do you get the people? How do I go to? What do I have to just type their names in?
Copy and paste.
Yeah, write it down and go later.
And hopefully
Did you-
it's more easy to find.
Did you click on the actual name instead of going to the three dots?
I don't have 3 dots.
Are you doing pop-out chat?
No, I'm in comments. I just don't have. I don't have 3 dots next to anybody's name.
No, I don't have 3 dots either.
All right, I have to do it. I'll have to open up YouTube and go this way.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is, oh wait, no, you can. If you click on their picture, you can go
I
to
did.
channel or you can block them. That's about the only thing you can do.
Well, as a moderator, I should be able to do something, but I can't do anything.
Wow, that sucks.
I'm clicking on.
Let me go.
I'm,
to
cl-
there.
I'm clicking on the Simple Alaskans icon photo right now. Do I have to double click? I mean, backspace click?
Are you signed in?
It allows me to go to channel.
No, I clicked on their name and nothing happens.
Well, maybe I'll have to start making everybody a manager moderator.
Fuck.
Hate when they change stuff. Anybody else hate when they change stuff?
Change
where is
stuff.
Stevie?
I hate it, especially at the grocery store. That's you know you're a fucking adult when they change shit at the grocery store and you get pissed. Like fucking crackers used to be right here, now they're on the other end of the damn store.
Right. Well, the science to that is they want you walking around the store looking for stuff so you buy other stuff.
Impulse
So-
buy, yeah.
So,
PJ, if you hold on a minute, Mike. PJ, if you could drop links, that would be awesome. And I appreciate the offer.
a little FYI, I have to be on the YouTube side of things to click on somebody's face.
Oh, so you're talking
can't
in the
be-
StreamYard comments.
Yeah, on the StreamYard, I cannot.
Got
On
you.
the StreamYard, I can't do it. All right, so I'm on P&J's at P&J's Homestead Adventure. There's a thing. Where's the bell? There's the bell. All right. What was the other one?
There's
Stevie?
Simple Alaska's link,
Yeah, because you know how much I love that state. So
right?
I like to learn all about that state.
So anyhow, anybody got any comments about the lion and bullshit?
Yeah, sure. What's his name? Tampon Tim. Tim Walls or whatever.
As soon as he hit the podium, they started rolling.
The thing that gets me is, he it wasn't recently. This is it was an older video that surfaced where he was talking about doing away with reciprocity. So you couldn't carry a gun across state lines or whatever, He wants universal background checks, which I talked a little bit about that last night. But something else he mentioned, and then he said, magazine capacity ban or whatever, and then he was like assault weapons ban, and he said we got to ban these weapons of war. He's like the gun that I carried in combat should not be on the street in the United States.
Yeah, to start with, he was never in.
Well, first of all, he was never in fucking combat.
Mike, drop a comment in YouTube.
I'm typing.
So he was never in combat. He's lying from the get, And then the media, what the media wants to do is they want to fucking turn that shit and twist it and spin it and say, well, JD Vance wasn't in combat. But
yeah.
Okay, he might not have been in combat, but he was in a support group, and his ass actually went to Iraq. Right. He didn't retire right before he's supposed to go. And he went. And he was now they were like, even though his title was a combat journalist, he didn't see any combat. Well, that's still his title. He was a combat journalist, but he was in the rear with the gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wasn't on the front lines, but the thing was, that dude carried a fucking rifle. When the shit hit the fan, he had to go to his rifle.
Yeah, all JD Vance ever said was, "I served."
Awesome.
He didn't say he pulled the trigger or nothing.
Right. So he didn't claim to carry the gun in combat.
That's the military for you, though, Ohio. Because when my kid brother signed up for the Navy when he was 17 years old, okay, because he signed up during Desert Storm. When they gave him his naval, not his fatigues, his uniform, all right, his whites, he got a pin, bar, whatever, medal, whatever.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he was in the Navy during Desert Storm, and he
wasn't right. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
But
I agree with what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying that's what but that's the military for you.
But this man actually said himself, we need to get the guns like I carried in combat. Dude, I never served. I signed up for the Navy when I was in high school for delayed entry program, but then I was in an accident and I never went.
On all your 45s, military issued 45s.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Aren't the 45s a military issue anyways?
9mm now.
Are they 9s now?
No, they've been 9mm since the 70s, I think. Yeah. The Beretta 92, they switched from 1911s to Beretta 92 back in the 70s, I think, or early 80s.
After
Vietnam, so Beretta 92, how many people that aren't in the service do you think have a Beretta 92 right now?
Oh, a shit ton. That's a popular.
So then, what's the? This is my point. What's the?
Yeah, what's the diff?
Is that a war? Is that a weapon of fucking whatever the fuck they call it?
Weapon of war.
Technically, weapon of war. I have a weapon of war. I do have a weapon of war. It's a Mosin Nagant.
Whatever you have.
So do I. They're right here.
Yeah, but the way he said it, don't matter what fucking gun it was. Just the way he said it, he claimed that he was a combat veteran, and he's not.
Absolutely right, Jay Watt. The Declaration of Independence speak about how to deal with out-of-control governments. That's what the Second Amendment is mostly about.
So he lied about that, and then, and another thing, if we're going to talk about the media and the spin, it came out really quick. People started calling him Tampon Tim, and it's because he, as the governor of Minnesota, signed into law the law to put tampons in all the restrooms in all the schools in the entire state. Not girls' bathrooms, but boys' bathrooms too.
I would like
Because
to
boys
talk.
get periods too, apparently. I don't know.
Butthead episode when Beavis had the bloody nose.
Yeah, I'm going to walk around high school with a tamponi up my nose.
Right.
I would like to have a conversation with the high school janitor and see how many drains they need to unplug
Yeah.
from,
But the thing is, the media spin.
because that's what guys do.
The first thing the media does is they take that story and they spin it to try to help them and say, they're calling him Tampon Tim because he got, he signed a law he signed the bill into law to make it a law to have tampons in all the restrooms. Don't you want your daughter to have access to the things she needs while she's in school?
Yeah.
They didn't. That's fine. Yes, I do if I had a daughter, but my son don't need fucking tampons. You know what I mean? And they left out the whole part that they put tampons in the boys' bathroom. They left that out on the media.
Redneck Prepper, what's up? Yeah, any way they can spin it, they'll spin it to make it look better. But if your son's girlfriend is a little bit loose and she has in between class meetings in the boys' bathroom with mentioned son, he may need a tampon.
Or you could ask him to get one while he's in the bathroom for.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. See, now that's more bullshit. You know what I mean?
Back in my day, if you were very careful opening said tampon, they made a great pinch, in a pinch rolling paper.
Hey, Redneck, what's up?
I don't know. I have a few of them in a bag, and that they're going to either plug bullet holes or hand them to my wife when she needs them if we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Stevie, the
If it happens to be Shark Week.
now you can't use.
What's that? What's that, Shalise? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Stevie said you can use them in a pitch, but they're not paper anymore. They're plastic.
Oh, plastic.
Oh, I see. They go paper straws, but when it comes to tampon, they just use that plastic right up, huh?
Oh, man.
There's another hypocrisy crap.
Well, here's the thing. My mom had emergency hysterectomy after I was born. So as a kid, I grew up never having to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never knew anything about it, dude. Never knew anything about it.
You
Had a
never had
girlfriend
to
over.
talk?
Went to the girlfriend's house one time, lifted the toilet seat lid, and it looked like a fucking murder scene. I didn't know what to do. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know anything about that because I grew up without it because my mom had a hysterectomy and I was an only child. So,
Oh, there's your issue. Only child.
That stems from a lot of issues right there.
Yeah.
That explains a shit ton.
A lot of passes got handed out.
Doesn't play well with others, doesn't share. But when you're an only child, you do get kind of screwed in one way.
Oh yeah, something breaks. Nobody to blame it on.
You can't say I don't know. I didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah, right. That would suck.
Hey Vanessa, welcome back. Thanks P&J.
Yeah, when the basketball hits the lamp and busts the lamp and it falls on the table and shatters the glass table, can't blame it on your brother or sister. That shit is.
That's gotta blow.
I had to help my son.
Vanessa Kitty, how are you?
So apparently I was wrong. Did I tell you guys my kid's leaving? He's going down.
No, what? What did you just say?
My son's going down to Maryland for a week. Did I tell you that last night?
I thought you said DC.
Well, Maryland, DC, same thing.
Oh.
But he's going to Maryland. He's going to be like an hour and 15 minutes out of DC because my wife's staying at the Regency over by Ronald Reagan, and it's an hour. He's going to be an hour and 15 minutes south of it.
Right.
But
sounds like an unplanned honeymoon to me.
It's a 7 hours and 6 minute ride. I could have fucking made it, but no, the jackass at work had to screw me over. Hour and 43 minutes on an airplane from Boston, Logan International in Boston to the Ronald Reagan.
And anybody interested, Steve and Susie's Homestead does have a Facebook page if you want to join. Let me know.
Send me a fucking invite, asshole.
Oh.
What do you think? I'm going to go look it up?
You're already on there, ding dong. How do you think I sent you the link?
Oh, I don't know.
Please put your YouTube name on there when you send a friend request so I know who the heck you is.
I hate when they do that.
I got so many friends. It's
I was
like,
in Indian Head, Maryland for a time at the Naval Depot. Oh, cool. That's cool, Vanessa.
I'm getting a lot of friends requests from obviously troll
YouTube
accounts and stuff like that on
Well,
Facebook.
I get it from the YouTube people, but I don't know who the fuck they are because I don't know that. I always say, I'll friend you if you're on here on YouTube. I'll friend you on Facebook. I could give two shits less.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
All I need you to do, if your name is different on YouTube than it is on Facebook, I need you to, in parentheses, put da-da-da-da on YT.
Yeah, it's me.
You know.
Shalisa, how do you feel about the slanted communications with the two parties?
how do I feel about the slanted communications about the two parties?
Yeah, it seems like every time they talk about the other side, they got to put a spin on it or something.
Yeah, that's typical, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yes and no. There's been years.
Worse.
There's been years in the past.
It's gotten worse, yes.
There's been years in the past where both sides of the aisle can come to an agreement and do what they need to do to get the right thing done. The problem is today that does not happen anymore.
Well, they're also getting certain news channels propagating it.
Both sides. The problem is both sides. You got one side that hates the. You got the Republicans, and again, I don't mean all Republicans. I mean the Democrats, and I don't mean all Democrats. So don't jump all over my ass for saying this. You got a lot of Democrats that their hatred for Trump is clouding their judgment for the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they have to vote for Trump. All I'm saying is that it's clouding their judgment for the better of the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a breath.
So, and the other way is the same way. Okay. They with people that can't stand Biden or his his politics or what have you, but the hatred. I don't think the hatred for Trump is anywhere near what the hate. It's not equal to Biden. I mean, people don't hate Biden the way they hate Trump. It's just the way it is.
Right.
I don't hate anybody to begin with. I just don't like somebody's politics. So, I just don't vote for that person.
Matt Whitchin, how you doing? And welcome, brother.
But the thing that starts all of it is the negativity on how you speak to people too. I don't care what anybody says. When you say all these fucking idiot fucking Democrats and blah 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 blah, it's like with me when somebody says, "Oh, you fucking Trump people," and after they say that, I don't hear nothing. I hear nothing because now I'm not paying attention. If you're gonna have a big boy or a big girl, not to be sexist, sorry, if you're gonna have an adult conversation about the other side of the aisle, have that adult conversation in a decent manner. Don't do it with "hey fucking moron" or "hey fucking douchebag" or "hey
but
asshole."
It's hard though, Mikey, because the minute that you I've had debates with people before, and the minute you come up with a fact or something that puts a hole in their story or whatever, you're a bigoted, racist, blah blah blah, and you can't argue with stupidity. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just
That's thanks to programming, and everybo's got it. Everybody gets programmed the same way.
And then you got news people like who is it now? MSNBC, all right, is in a $30 million lawsuit with Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Because they took, for those who don't know, Joe Rogan has a podcast. Blah 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 blah. He's involved with UFC. Guys, just look him up if you know who Joe Rogan is.
Biggest podcast in the
Biggest
world.
podcast in the country. Okay, so now MSNBC. Excuse me, I got to be correct on what I said.
Microsoft NBC.
All right, they decided that they would take excerpts from his podcast and make it look like he was going to vote for Kamala Harris, which in fact couldn't be the furthest from the truth. So now, and this is the second time it's happened to him. I believe it was CNN was the first. There's a YouTube video on it right now. But anyways, he didn't do a lawsuit that time. He brought the guy on and said, "This is lies." Joe Rogan did. Brought the guy on and said, "This is lies. I never said that."
Yeah.
You know, why does that person still have a job? This is a lie.
I seen a YouTube with both videos side by side, and you could see the sections they cut out.
Right. They cut out sections. So now Joe Rogan is suing them for $30 million. And now Tulsi Gabbard, on the video I watched, Tulsi Gabbard, she went on saying that not only is it, wrong for them to do that to Joe Rogan, it's also because he has such a following. It's also on the line of
voter fraud or
voter something or other.
Election interference.
Thank you.
You mean like they falsely accused Russia of doing?
Well, because he's got such a following, and people are going to think now people that know the true followers of Joe Rogan know he's not voting for her, but those that aren't, those that really don't know, don't know his.
Those that only watch his like 10-second clips on YouTube.
Correct. All right. So, I think that is the worst, because now you are no longer a media outlet. You are a propaganda outlet. Not that they haven't been. Don't misunderstand me. But now you're just proving to be a propaganda outlet and not a what was I looking for? A journalist, a journalistic,
Yeah, news is supposed to tell the news without their opinion or a spin on it.
So you mentioned Tulsi Gabbard. Did you hear what happened to her recently?
I did.
Yep. She's on the terrorist list.
She was placed on the domestic terrorist list, and she cannot fly right now.
Why was she placed on a domestic terrorist list?
Because somebody said so.
Because, she's not lining up with the administration's, ways, I guess. I don't know.
What she probably did is bit the hand that fed her.
I mean, she left the Democratic Party.
She left the Democratic Party. She also didn't run for because I was told she doesn't. She doesn't play well with others either.
Well, she ended Kamala Harris's bid for president in what?
Right.
2020.
Yeah, and like I said last night, she mopped the floor with Kamala Harris, and everybody said that Kamala's not, she's not suitable, she's not this, she's not that, she's not this, she's not that, and now they want her as the president of this country.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest red flag that this country should see right now and recognize. Whether you're left, right, Democrat, conservative, Republican, down the middle, progressive, whatever, the biggest red flag we have is a candidate that dropped out before the first primary because nobody liked her in 2020.
Right.
Then she was a DEI hire for Joe Biden.
Right.
Because she was, an black, Indian, Asian female. Right. So you check. But then 14 million people will vote for Joe Biden in the primary. Their votes just got thrown in the fucking trash because he steps away. They automatically put her in as their candidate.
But long before that,
she received one vote. She didn't
but
see
Ohio,
one vote, not one.
correct. But Ohio, whoa, listen.
And then they want to say that somebody else is a threat to democracy. That's a huge threat to democracy. Nobody voted for her.
Ohio, long before he stepped out. Okay, 3-4 months ago. We're talking 90 days ago. Okay, they didn't want her anywhere near it.
Yeah. They were
90
bad
days.
mouthing.
Right, but now
They
she's
didn't want her anywhere
a
near this place.
superhero. She's the best thing since
Exactly.
fucking sliced bread. And we all know it's a fucking lie. But that's the biggest danger to our democracy in this country, which we're not even a fucking democracy. We're a republic.
Here's
like
a
watching that
little here's a little after school activity I want you all to do. Go try to find one of them videos of the news bad mouthing Kamalia back in the day.
Good luck.
Yeah. Gone.
They took them all down.
Everything's been scrubbed. You can't even find a video of them saying that she was the border czar.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of YouTubers
There was a
that
guy
found it as soon as it happened, and they brought that shit up. But
There
they're
was a
lying about
guy-
that too. And then the media is trying to cover it, saying she was never the border czar. Bullshit.
Well-
The same person that just said she was never the border czar 2 years ago said that she was the border czar on a newscast.
Right. There was a guy on Joe Rogan that he tweeted out videos of her.
Yeah.
On video. And all this stuff. Okay. He still has the tweets. So that he's the only one.
Thank God
you know
for
what I mean?
smart people saving all that junk.
But yeah. I just you know what it's like? You know what it's like? I have it stuck in my brain. It's like minus the explosion at the Senate building. What explosion, Mikey? I'm going to tell you in a minute. If you haven't watched Designated Survivor yet on Netflix,
I was watching that when it was actually on ABC.
What's his name there? His father just died too. What's his name?
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. He gets to be president, but he was like the fucking Secretary of fucking Agriculture or something fucking stupid, right?
Right. Yeah.
And during the what do you call it? There's two people that have to sit back, and they're designated. There's two people. What do you call it when the president shows up at the Senate in January? The
inauguration.
No, not the inauguration.
What?
When he's at the Senate building.
State of the Nation.
State of the Union. State of the Union. So they're at the State of the Union, and during the state, which is true. This is the true part. During the State of the Union, two people have to sit out, and they don't know who they are until I guess that night or whatever. And these two people sat out. It was Kiefer Sutherland and what's her face, but Kiefer Sutherland, because they blew up the Senate, wound up being president by. Because the president died, the vice president died, all these other people died.
And the Speaker of the House, blah, blah, blah. That's how it goes, yeah.
Right.
That was a great scene. When he looked at the hotel window.
It was. But this is what it reminds me of, because he had
Nancy
no clue.
Pelosi could have been our president.
His first day, he had no clue.
Right.
She's vice president. And still has no clue.
Are you laughing at Steve?
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't.
Hey, you just got to remember that at one time she was just Montel Williams' side fucking chick. You know what I mean?
Pelosi.
Yeah. What's the judge? Is it
Judge Joe Brown?
Yeah, he's the one that started bringing her up. He now has videos on YouTube, like bad mouthing her.
Wait. Slow down a step. Back up for me. What did Ohio just say?
Kamala Harris used to be, before she was a prosecutor and all that, back in the day, she was Montel Williams' side chick.
Montel Williams, the fucking talk show host?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Where's the link? I want to see that shit.
Wasn't Judge Joe Brown on TV also?
And now you do it, Stevie. Now, Judge Joe Brown, the guy that used to do it with what's her face, the boxer's wife, Judge Judy.
Yeah.
He used to come on after Judge Judy.
I think it's the same guy.
Big black guy?
He was having an extramarital affair with Kamalia, and she started climbing the ladder. But even he is now saying
Well, she
Hey,
had an affair with Judge Willie Brown.
Willie Brown.
Yeah, but Judge Joe Brown. Yeah, Willie Brown was a part of San Francisco or whatever, and that's how she got her start in politics. Was
Right.
she was date? That's a very well known open affair that they had. He was married and he was fucking Kamala on the side, and then she worked her way up.
Let me address Jay Watt before it goes away. Jay Watterson says, has it occurred to you that this is all being done by design, blatantly out in the open with a purpose of distracting you so you don't see what's really going on behind the scenes? Jay Watt, absolutely. I resisted forever, but I have seen the light.
Yeah, Montel and her were together for a while.
Montel.
Who's G Seward?
Does he want a timeout or does he want a kick out?
No. I want to know who he is. Hey, listen,
who?
I'll fucking debate anybody and their mother.
It says
Who's who?
G.
Stewart. Lunatics spewing nonsense that have no base in reality. Just look at you all. Do you think you're on top of things? Good Lord.
Hey, our boy.
AJ Stewart, welcome.
Yeah, she
It
is.
isn't nonsense. It's what's on our mind.
It is P and J's homestead. She's
Don't be screaming racist where you're a racist.
It's important that people talk about this shit.
Once again, it's, you know what I'm saying. If you have an R or an I next to your name, you're a racist.
I just don't get any of it. That some people can just sit by and just think that you're stupid because you believe certain ways. When did we derail as a country when we started acting like, half the country is fucking retard because of their political points of view?
Yeah, where independent thinking is supposed to be a freedom.
Hey, Sticky Steve, you know what pisses me off too? If I fly the American flag in front of my house, or if I put an American flag in the little hole in my pickup truck,
Mm-hmm.
and bungee cord it to the back. All right. If I wear an American flag, hat, T-shirt, anything, and it's not on the 4th of July, then I must be voting for Trump. Now, if somebody from either side, I don't care if you're from the Tea Party, I don't care if you're an independent, I don't care what you are. All I want to know is if somebody can please explain to me what makes a person a Trump supporter just because they fly the American flag and they're proud of this country. When somebody can legitimately tell me why,
because they were told to think that way. That's why.
No, wait. Somebody already answered that before you were done. G. Seward says lemmings, which was obviously pointed at us. But this group of lemmings that have been programmed are the ones that actually, And then, of course, if you're a Trump supporter, you admit to it, then you're a racist. And the guy's done more for, minorities than any other president. But they've been trained like good lemmings. Does anybody remember the movie? I believe it was Body Snatchers, where they had the pods.
Yeah.
And the pods would, turn you into the alien. And then the aliens would walk around, and when they heard or smelled a human, they would point at them and scream. And that's how you got busted.
Boyd, I'm not sure if we have a troll.
Yeah, I remember that one scene. That was Ronald Sutherland that played in that. That was Keith Sutherland's dad.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, and then they would all grab you and put you in a pod. That's the lemmings.
Boyd, I don't know. I'm just trying to find out if we have a troll or not. I just think he might be in from wherever, but
No, he's not. He's all right. He's not a troll.
All
I'm
right.
not gonna blow him up.
Thousand
I
comments
mean,
a
I
second.
mean, he did come in here right away and start name calling, you know, instead of
Just a
trying to be.
keyboard warrior.
Maybe
No
they're
big
It's
deal.
not my chat.
Long as it
But
isn't. that
these are the
Germany.
people. These are the people. These are the people that I want to be able to have a discussion with.
That's
'Cause
why
I
I
want to know why.
haven't kicked him out.
I
Let's hear
want to
what
know
you
why,
got to
but
say.
he won't engage with me. You know what I'm saying?
Called a keyboard warrior.
Because I'm probably the only guy in here, right? I'm probably the only person in here that doesn't give a fuck who you vote for.
I don't care either.
You know what I'm saying? Just who the
This is I
fuck
I
cares?
believe in the right. You should be able to vote for whoever you want,
Exactly.
but I
That's what
also
makes the
believe in
country
the
go
right
around.
freedom of speech. You should be able to discuss whatever you want.
Ignorance breeds a lot of bad things, and
Yes.
one of them is ego. You have such a large ego because
I
you
wish I had one.
you're good at something and you're on
How's it
top
work?
of things, but you're really not.
Well,
Well, you usually the bigger
No,
the coward. Usually, the bigger the coward, the louder the voice.
And now you see he must have went away because he's not engaging.
that's
I'd like
fine with me. But
to know.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've been pretty open over the years. Even Steve criticized me a little bit because 2016 I voted for Trump.
I didn't criticize you. I tried to change your mind a little.
Well, 2020 I could not consciously vote for either one of those people, the Trump or Biden. Okay,
That's fine.
right. 2024, I've made my mind. I made my mind up. You know, January 21st of 2021. Who was going to, you know, that I wasn't going to vote for. I knew I'd never vote for Biden. That's for damn sure. There were some people during the primaries that I was hoping to, you know, cast my vote for certain other people that I liked. But Trump, a lot of them jumped out, and Trump was he's the nominee.
Fun fact for you, Ohio. I just learned this today. Trump ran before 2016 when he won
Yes.
as an independent.
When
But
did you
had
do
to
that?
drop out. Huh?
No, it wasn't 2016.
When was that?
Before.
Was that in 2016?
No. it
No,
wasn't.
before I think was it Obama. He was.
When he went, yeah, that his first run in presidency. He's
Was
run for
probably
president 3
2008?
times. He's ran for
Something like
president, I believe, 3 times. And when he ran the first time, I believe he went from being a Democrat, from supporting the fucking Clintons,
Yeah.
to independent to Republican.
Yeah, but I didn't vote for him in 2020. You know, but I will say that I'm leaning that way. Definitely. Well, I'm voting for Trump when it.
Well, you
comes
must,
to-
because you have I can see the flag hanging on
Yeah.
the wall over there. So, you know, we all know everybody hangs the flag.
But
Thank you, Jay Watt. It was 08.
And just to let you know, Ohio, he recanted on that stuff he said way back when. Where
right,
he
I
kind
did
of
see.
spouting off at the mouth.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like maybe, you know, we could bleach the blood or something to get rid of the whatever.
No, I'm not talking about that. I had an issue with him on the Second Amendment. That's what I have my issue with him on.
That's what I'm saying. He recanted on that. And
Recently, yes.
switched it. Yes.
Yeah, well, don't forget,
I
he was
think
gonna
that's
sign
probably
that
why he has
fucking
JD
reciprocity.
Vance. That's probably why he has JD Vance as a running mate. Is
But don't
JD
forget-
Vance?
Ohio, don't forget, he was going to sign that fucking reciprocity thing until fucking Vegas had.
Do what now? I didn't hear you. I can't hear you.
Wasn't the bill for, what is that fucking word?
You
I
said
can't.
it.
Can anybody else having trouble hearing him?
Reciprocity.
Thank
Right.
you. Thank you. Say that word again.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity. When the bill for reciprocity was Trump was going to sign that, and then fucking the Vegas shooting happened.
Geez, you think on purpose, maybe?
So he
Oh,
can't be
wait.
all that bad on
Yeah.
2A.
Thank you,
Well,
Jay.
I mean, yes, he was pretty bad on 2A at certain things because he said first we take the guns and then we do due process. and
Said.
that's a big fucking no-no.
I get that.
That was one of his mumble. Oops, did that come out of my mouth?
He didn't.
Yeah. But
there's
they
a-
also used his Department of Justice to illegally ban bump stocks.
okay.
And
I'm trying to think in the
if
past.
they wanted to impeach him, they could have impeached him on that because he needed an act of Congress to do that, and he circumvented Congress. So he could have been impeached on that.
I think that the only president we would have had, the only president we ever would have had in our lifetime that we remember. I'm not talking about before we were born and all that bullshit. I'm talking about in our lifetimes. The only president we would have had, because we haven't had one yet, that it's going to be 110% 4-2-way, no ifs, ands, or buts, this, that, and the other thing, all that bullshit. Actually, there's two guys, Charlton Heston and Ted Nugent. Those two guys aren't fucking president. You ain't getting what the fuck you want. So you have to. This
Ted
is why
Nugent isn't 100% 2A for everybody because he does not believe violent convicted felons should have gun rights.
neither do I. But my thing is that
Hi, Susie. Hi.
that's why I keep saying hi, Susie. That's why I keep saying that there has to be a give and a take. You know what I mean? Because if you want to strict 100%, everything's only 2A, blah 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 blah. Charlton Heston's dead.
I think
And like
Trump
Stevie
has
said,
learned
Nugent.
a lot.
Because it's not going to happen.
Well, I was just
It's
saying
just
there's reasons. Those are some of the reasons why I didn't vote for him.
I got you. But I'm just saying, you know.
But like Jay Watt said earlier in the chat, who in their
Correct.
right mind would vote for 4 more years of what the hell we just went through for 3 year, half a year? Whatever.
Well, I'll put it to you this way.
It's just a stamp of the
There
next administration. It's the same shit. And act like Trump is going to do something so bad, and he's going to take away women's rights, and he's going to do all this, and he's going to do that, and do this, and do that, and the democracy. Did you forget that he was president for 4 fucking years, and we were pretty damn good?
And the world didn't blow up.
Rights. I didn't see.
No wars.
Good. Fucking $1.85 for gas. That wasn't too bad. I'd say better, but it's better than what did I pay the other day for it? $3.89 for fucking gallon of gas.
Let me tell you. Here's what I think. I think that there are more people. There's going to be less people. There's going to be less people that vote this year for president than there was 4 years ago.
That's my number 4 worry about this election.
You know why?
Lazy voters.
Because even the Democrats don't like her. So listen, if America, and you guys will call me sexist, you can call me anything you want. If America wasn't ready for a woman who had money, power, and everything like that before, if America wasn't ready for a woman president with Hillary Clinton, they ain't ready president for her.
Well,
first of all, like we've already stated, she dropped out of the, you know what I mean? So, listen, when's the last time you've seen Hillary Clinton drop out of anything? Okay?
Please, I'm begging you. Don't take that for granted that nobody's going to vote for her.
I'm going to guarantee you one thing right now. You look up how many people voted 4 years ago. Okay? Just look up how many people voted 4 years ago. For both sides. For both sides. And then do it this year. It's going to be far less. Because they don't want it. They don't want it.
You're probably right on that it's going to be less.
Far less.
Unless there's a leak in the ceiling in the middle of the night and we got to shut down the place and bring more ballots in and stuff like that. Unless that happens again, I'm sorry. It was all over the news the night it happened. So
here's my theory on voter fraud. Every illegal alien that comes across the border that gets caught or bumped into or haphazardly seen at the donut shop, name goes on a list. That list is converted to a computer thumbnail or whatever. What's stopping somebody from plugging that in and getting those millions of votes from those people, unbeknownst to them, for whoever they want to give those votes to?
Oh,
Three
yeah, but
words.
I wasn't even
Three
talking about.
words. Venezuelan voting machines.
But I wasn't even talking about voter fraud. I was just talking about people don't want to vote for either one of the parties, like Trump was saying. He didn't want to. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. People aren't going to want to vote for her, and they don't want to vote for Trump.
Is running for president is because that's the only way they could get Biden to step aside, because Biden wants to finish what he started, and he thinks Kamala will do it. And that's the only
And by the way, why Biden is still in office, I couldn't imagine the crap he's signing right now to try to put in the law.
How about 2.9 million?
Why not? All the lame ducks do it, though, right? They all do it. Any lame duck president's going to do the same fucking thing.
P&J's Homestead Adventure, male or female, doesn't matter. The right person for the job is what we need.
Correct. But all I'm saying is that what I meant by my statement was that there is a.
We also have the list of all the poor people that died of the Boogaloo flu are going to be voting also, probably.
Well, I want to go back, Mikey, and say, because I disagree with you on the whole Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris comparison.
Wow.
Because
Hillary's got way more money.
It doesn't matter about the money. I was talking about a couple years ago, one of these chats with all you people, as Mikey would say,
you people.
I said, and I strictly remember this, that Kamala Harris scares me. She is likable. She is likable. Not as a politician, but when she's out campaigning and she's dancing, good time, people like her. She laughs. She talks to people.
She's like AOC.
She's personable. She is like a normal human being. She's not a robot like most of these politicians. And I think she has that going for her. And that does scare me a little bit, that people will vote for that reason.
We have a couple of people in here from Alaska, and they remember their was she governor?
Palin?
Whatever her name was.
Right.
Sarah Palin.
I actually liked her.
She was like eye candy. Like the girl next door shit. And she didn't go nowhere with what's his face?
Well, it's because she made stupid remarks, and then the media went with it and totally destroyed her. Like, I can see Russia from my front door, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of stuff like that. The media just.
I remember them putting up maps and all that stuff, trying to make her look.
But I think what she meant was, you know, it's like me calling somebody in New York my neighbor.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not neighbors, but you live in New York. I live in Mass.
She also didn't go along with the plan. She butted heads with John McCain on too many things, and she went rogue on him. And
I would have loved her. You know, I'd have voted for her for president.
But let me explain something. I did some research the other day, and it took me about 6 hours, and I came up with some things that I found. With this whole open border and, you know, letting illegals vote and stuff, they don't give a shit if they vote or not. Do you know why they got open borders and let people in so easily?
Why?
Because the numbers get counted on the census, whether they're illegal or not. And that tells you how many electoral votes an area gets.
I know Massachusetts electoral votes up to 11.
Texas and New Mexico, Arizona, and California, with 11 million more people, they get more electoral votes. And some states vote a certain way anyway.
They want to get rid of that electoral college anyway.
Jay Watt's not a Palin fan.
No, I don't think he's not talking about Sarah Palin. I think he's talking about what Ohio said about Kamala.
You too.
Love you,
I think that Jay Watt has been saying that he disagrees with Ohio saying that she's disingenuous and a pompous ass.
Our Boyd is riding Mike's S.
I want to hear that Yankee pronunciation from Monkey. What Yankee pronunciation of what?
Proper processing.
Oh, fuck that. I can't do that.
They
I
did
hate
it
that
before.
fucking word.
Reciprocity.
Talking about they
It's like when you were two trying to say spaghetti.
went along with it. I don't know what that. I wish you would let me know what that means.
Can I bring up something for you guys to think about?
And we're always
Get
thinking.
to 2030. Very small, very rich, well-to-do people want to enslave the world and take all the resources for themselves.
Yes, sir.
Include Mr. Microsoft and the Rockefellers and
Oh, yeah.
George Soros's,
The Fords.
Ford, yeah, all these people.
They weren't nice people.
No,
Everybody think a lot of people should have watched that. Did you ever see that Steve? Did you ever see the documentary on that? On all of them. Everybody you just mentioned.
Yeah, fighting with each other in the trains.
Not only
and
were
all
they
that
fighting,
stuff.
they had people killed.
Oh, fuck it. They do now.
And they weren't
What's
nice
the Clinton
people.
list up to?
But
Ohio?
here's the funny part. They
Do
weren't
what?
nice people, like Steve was just saying. Okay? They weren't nice people, the Rockefellers, the Fords. But guess what? You go to New York City, Rockefeller Center. You go to Detroit, Ford City. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's
It's
disgusting.
they are disgusting people.
What did you say?
They weren't nice
Trash-
people at all.
And what they want to do to us as a human race is even more disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing it now. They got our birth rate down to the point where
Mario's.
America is
I can say Mario's.
fizzling out.
Mini ice cream cones.
Mario.
I'm on a diet.
Law enforcement put their
I don't know. I one problem we have in this country is the baby boomers. Because
Absolutely, Jay-Watt.
they're all getting to the age where they are, and I'm going to say it. It's not. I don't mean it in a bad way, but they're a burden to the system.
Okay, hang on a second. You have to separate because the baby boomers are the largest. What do you call it? The largest generation. Okay?
This generation, and now they're all at the point.
Not all. Listen to me. It's a large generation. It's not like Gen X when Gen X is only like 11 years.
Yeah.
It's a large generation because I have my sister was 65, so she's Gen X. I got a cousin who was born in let me finish. I got a cousin who was born in 1964. He's a baby boomer. So you can't say you can't do that. You have to split up the early boomers because I think I know what you're going to say.
Baby boomers, yeah, whatever. The ones that in
is
the
that
nursing
post-
home,
Well, you have to.
Are you talking post World War II babies?
huh?
Are you talking post World War II babies?
Right after, yeah, the boomers, the boomer generation.
There's like two generations because there was another big generation from the 60s, but the war got over in the 40s.
Well, the
So
boomers,
there was a whole bunch of babies born in the late 40s, 50s.
well, boomers are like 45 to like 67 or something like that.
No, not 67. I'm Gen X. I'm 67. Nice try.
I'm a Gen Xer.
64. Gen X starts from 65 and goes to 80.
Okay, it doesn't matter what the fucking dates are. I'm talking about the amount of people
Us old
that are
people.
putting burden on our social services of Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security.
You mean all the Social Security and shit we put into?
Hang on.
All
I'm gonna put that. Not everybody puts into that shit, dude.
I've drawn out more Social Security than I.
If you work, you do. If you work and they take taxes out of your check, you put into it.
Yeah, but Miss Shalisa, you get a big fucking pass all the hell you went through.
Right, it's different. You know, I know people that worked 9 years total in their whole entire life. Now,
Yep.
granted, they were mothers and they, took care of kids and raised kids and everything, but they only paid into the system for 9 years. But they on the system getting paid every month more than they put into it for 20 years, 30 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
But still,
I'm saying
I paid into it for 15, 20 years, and I've been on Social Security since 2004.
but
Good for you.
we don't have the
In a weird way. In a weird way.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue. I don't.
I don't have an issue with the generation. I have an issue with what the next generation, what's going on. I had 2 kids. Most
Yep.
boomers had 5, 6, 7 kids. They were still in that mind frame that you have a lot of kids. The generation
I have
before them,
4.
I mean,
yeah,
my grandma
end of it.
22 fucking kids, man. 22 kids.
Who the fuck
Yeah,
cares?
but if those kids are working, they're putting into your social
Let me
security.
explain. Let me hang on a second.
Problem
It
is,
doesn't matter how many fucking children you got. That's
yes,
just
you do, Mike, because if you produce more kids, you get more workers, and more money goes into the system. With less kids, less workers, less money in the system. Not enough money to spread around.
well. Then how come you didn't have 4 more kids?
If you're worried about the baby boomers draining the system, wait till Harris puts 35 million illegal migrants who've never worked here on it.
Listen.
That's her plan.
All right, I'm confused. Are you mad at people that have big families? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying times have
Oh.
changed. We don't have the families that we used to. I have
You'd be
2
surprised.
kids. We're
But yeah.
done. We stopped at 2 kids. You know?
So we don't have the input.
My wife's
But I know
mom
people in their 40s. I
had
know
5.
people in their 40s that have 6 kids.
Right
Right
my
now.
mom had to see hysterectomy with me so she could have more kids, but
Right.
her mom
But what
and
I'm
dad
saying
had
is,
kids, and my dad's mom and dad had 2 kids. So there was more people to pay into the system for those years. Now we don't have that population, those people paying into it. And it's the people that paid into it for so long that are collecting into it now, that the money that they put into it was spent on the generation before them. The money that my dad's getting is from the money I put into it. There's not going to be much for us when we get there, man, because we don't have a whole lot of kids putting into it because
unless the system is fixed.
And they keep wanting to do more for people for the less they do, like giving illegals money and stuff like that and helping them and that money is not sustainable forever. And then we're turning this country into a socialist country by doing. I mean, it's called Social Security. You know what I mean? If you can't figure that out, it's just
Jay Watt. I love when people wake up.
listen,
It is all a scam.
Listen, it is what it.
But I know what.
I told my wife I'm done being honest. I told her, I says, I'm right now. I said, I work a full-time and a part-time job. You work a full-time, a full-time and 2 part-times because she just got done doing 8 weeks of summer school for kids with autism. Okay. So she's a teacher during the year, and then she still does a nursing job, and then she does okay. And I said, so I'm done doing shit the right way, the lawful way. I'm all done with it. I said, here's what we're gonna
comment too.
I said, here's what I want to do. I told her, I says, let's get legally separated. I says, I'll still live here. We'll get on a courthouse. We'll get legally separated. You'll get everything under the sun. And I go, and I'll still live here. We'll look like fucking kings and queens. Fuck them all, because I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of being fucking nice. I'm tired of fucking. I'm tired of it all.
But Mike, can you live with yourself? They've been doing that,
playing that. You know what?
They've been playing that system since Johnson, who encouraged it, by the way.
We have some family friends that the husband and wife, they divorced, but they still live together only for medical purposes because he couldn't afford because she ended up with cancer and stuff and had multiple surgeries and everything. And once they divorced, she got more benefits to help her out. And because he couldn't, when they were married, they couldn't afford to do everything, but yet, they were declined because, but since they divorced and she was single, she got more benefits. So that's not right that you have to do that in order to help, because we're too many people that don't deserve the help. That's my problem, is there's too many people that don't deserve it.
Been playing this scam for years.
Came out with that song a few months ago, and everybody was a big up on that. When he's talking about the Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah.
Total Control. My favorite
1 year anniversary, by the way.
Yeah, that's my favorite line from that. He's like, if you're 5'3" and 300 pounds, taxes ought not be paying for your bags of fudge rounds. That's my favorite line. Why are we allowing these people that don't work and just live off the government to buy cookies and crackers and candy and shit with they should only be allowed to buy fresh fruit and meats and stuff that they have to cook.
This is why, in a sentence, because it keeps you under the government's thumb.
Right.
If you're dependent on them to get your victuals.
Well, that's why
that was all a plan.
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood was all a scam to keep people down.
I don't want to get, because you mentioned Planned Parenthood, I don't want to get into abortion because
we don't need to, but it's part of the plan.
I don't think we'll ever have a solution on that because everyone thinks differently. You know what I mean? So
we got it now. Each individual state can get the plan they want. That's why Trump took it out of federal and put it back to the states. So each state can vote their own whatever.
Well, and then here in Ohio, they passed it, and it's a constitutional law. It went on the Ohio Constitution. Abortion is protected in Ohio. It's a constitutional right in Ohio. And it was voted on. And it passed. So what do I think about that? Somebody asked me that other day. What do you think about that? I said, it was voted on. It passed. It's the law of the land. It's constitutional.
Yes.
I mean, I don't always agree with the reasons why. I'm not going to say women. I'm going to say people, because a lot of times abortion is made, like always the woman's decision, but it's not always the woman's decision. Sometimes a man will pressure a woman into getting an abortion.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, or vice versa. Yeah. So I'm just going to say, people. I'm not going to, But,
yeah, but the people got to vote on it. So it's the people's choice.
The people's choice. It's constitutional law in Ohio now. So
yeah, you can't be mad. If you're preaching democracy, you can't be mad at democracy.
Right. Just like marijuana is not legal here.
Yeah. It's not?
No, they all come up here to the dispensary around the corner from me.
That's like back in the old days, we used to go down there to buy firecrackers.
But no, this week was the first. It's been recreational, legalized for a few months now, since April, I think. But we didn't have any dispensaries selling it legally. So it was basically you're allowed to grow your own. Each adult in each household, you can have 6 plants.
6 plants.
Well,
like everybody else.
I can have 24 plants here if I wanted to grow it because I got 4 adults or whatever. But
you want to talk about some?
And you ready? And here's what kills me. And this is we all. There's things I love about the state of New Hampshire. The gun law, blah blah blah, and there's plenty of things I hate about it. You ready? Their slogan, New Hampshire slogan, is "Live free or die." Okay. I can't carry a fixed blade knife in the live free or die state, and I also can't get. They don't have dispensaries and all that. They haven't even decriminalized it, let alone made it fucking legal.
Right.
They haven't even decriminalized it. You get caught with a joint in the state of New Hampshire, you're gonna get arrested. How? We fucking stupid.
We need to pass it to the legislation.
Do what?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm still waiting for the legislation to take it off the Schedule 1.
Yeah. Well,
Not
the thing
him.
is with Ohio, we just got dispensaries this week. So you guys won't be seeing all those Ohio tags up there at your dispensaries as much as you used to.
More for us.
Yeah, boy, it's legal in Maine, but it's not. It's not. They
That's something that the feds need to let go and put that to the state.
Here's the thing. I
And
think
believe
Maine
it
is
or
all
not,
made up of chemicals and shit. It's what do you call it? It's not. Good night, P&J.
have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming and thank you for putting in the link. It was a huge
Hope you have
help.
a great weekend also.
if Joe Biden was to stay in, if he was going to be staying in the run, his next step, that was his next step.
It's
Because they were
synthetic.
talking
Boy.
about it. He was going to legalize marijuana. That was going to.
He's still in. He could still do it if he really wanted. It's kind of like the student loans he kept promising and never came through with because he can't.
A necessary thing that if he gets reelected, that's what was going to be one of the first things he was going to do. But
He can't do it.
because it doesn't help. Now Kamala could get on that and say,
Power to do it.
legalize it. You know,
No good ideas for the bad side. Hush.
Let me say it.
Believe it or not, Ted Nugent and Trump were working on getting marijuana off that list and get it legalized.
That's funny because Ted Nugent's never touched it in his life.
I know it, but his main thing was anything that helps a kid with cancer, I approve.
Yeah.
And you guys, boy. Yes, they have a dispensary. You can get it from a doctor's note, and you can go to a doctor's note and get it. I'm talking about a public dispensary in the state of New Hampshire. They don't have them. The dispensaries they have in Maine, it's synthetic. It's not in Jezo. You know the difference.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Synthetic weed to kill you.
So I can't. My dispensary over here, that's like, I don't know, 100 yards away from my house.
You get that smell on a certain wind.
Oh yeah, no, but you can only get in the edibles. You can only get 5 milligrams of THC.
Gotcha.
Per tablet or per gummy, whatever, per edible. Okay.
Just eat 5 of them.
The in Maine, it's synthetic. It's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they have things here called like Delta 8, Delta 9, and Delta 10 or something.
It's different.
So, all right, Steve, what's next on the list, man? Before we get
my top 5 things are I've been hearing. I go to a lot of live streams. Sometimes I participate. Sometimes I just chill. A lot of gun guys can't let go of the misspoken words of Trump, and they're doing write-ins or they're voting for Kennedy. And right now, with this atmosphere, the evil against good is how I see it. A vote for anybody other than Trump is a vote for Harris.
Jesse the Body Ventura for president.
He did that years ago.
Before he went.
Bad about him.
Guys are not voting for Trump, and they're going to vote for RFK, who's terrible on guns.
Or they're going to write in that other guy who's not even running.
Oh, Ron Paul or whatever. Are you talking? Yeah, because of what? That's that whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing. That boy is hanging out with the wrong people. You know what I mean? They got something because that little speech he gave was so scripted.
The same day he flipped the script.
He recanted because Trump probably called him. Trump called him and said, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah.
Trump did
saved your ass.
Time.
Yeah. Do you think Rittenhouse's family had the money for those attorneys?
Right.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, that wasn't no damn public defender. That's for goddamn sure.
And one last thing on the dispensaries, Boyd and Jezo. I can't use you're either using cash or you can't use.
Credit cards.
So my bank is a credit union, and because it's a federal credit union, I can't use my debit card because the feds don't like, it's not federally legal.
Yep.
So I have to go in and use cashish.
I cannot believe with that much cash in them dispensaries that there hasn't been a shit ton of big armed robberies.
You cannot. It's so.
Remember, I live on the Green Mile. It happens. We got the Motor Mile over there. We got the Green Mile over here.
But I
Not
think
me.
I'm pretty sure that's a gun-free zone.
No, not ours. Ours is all they're half glass.
Gotcha.
First of all, you better have a pole vault with you to get over it. It's not that it's huge, but it's like it's over my head. You know what I mean? I'm only 5'9", so
No
5'10".
section.
So it's 6 foot to the top of the glass, which means you're not just putting your leg up and going over that thing. So and it's all what do you call it, glass. So if they're gonna, you better be ex-military to know what the fuck you're doing to get in there and get that.
Yeah, the marijuana business has to be a cash business because they
And
have to pay their taxes in a weird roundabout kind of way, so the government don't actually turn their head and don't actually know it comes from marijuana sales.
Well, it's a 10% tax in Ohio on marijuana sales. That's higher than your normal sales tax.
Yeah, which the government is making billions.
Right, and we still got shitty roads. You know what I mean? It's like, but
Actually, Ohio roads compared to Michigan are like going from a racetrack to a dirt road.
Ohio roads compared to Michigan is like driving in fucking
Beirut.
And with golden streets, man. I had a pothole up in Michigan, up in Detroit on my way to see my brother-in-law. I had a pothole on a 3-lane highway.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think I had to stop, put it in 4-wheel drive, and turn my wipers on to get out of that goddamn thing.
You ain't lying, brother. That's why we raised our speed limit so high, so you kind of zing over them.
And what kills me is one drives up there because it's a no-fault state, so it's just like, fuck you, like demolition derby.
J-Rot wants to know, why are people upset over a 20-something's thoughts on who he is voting for?
Well,
I don't.
Kyle Rittenhouse got a lot of conservative backing and a lot of Trump backing. But like I say, he flipped the script, he apologized, and
I'm not worried about who I can shit who Kyle Rittenhouse votes for because he is just a 20-year-old kid. But a lot of people that backed him, I think people feel like they were stabbed in the back from him when he said that, because so many people backed him upon Trump also backed him. Trump was one of the biggest cheerleaders, and he went on national television and fucking, defended him. And Trump took a lot of shit for that. So, I don't know. I think it pissed a lot of gun owners off, is what it did.
Yeah, but what worries me is the people that got him thinking that way are going to be the people that are going to be writing in Ron Paul or something. And that could lose us the election, or lose me the election. I don't want to speak for you guys.
Yeah, Jezzo, I know they have pot shops in New Hampshire. I get all that. I'm talking about public ones that you don't need a medical card to get into. I can't walk into there without a medical card. I don't have a medical card. You can come down here. A person from New Hampshire, which they all do because it's 2 miles away, they all come down here and go to the one right beside my house because it's public. They walk in. They don't need a medical card. They walk in. They get their shit and they walk out.
We call that.
Now, here's what doesn't make sense to me. They have the shit they sell in there for pot. Oh my god! You can have. They can
This ain't
have like
daddy's
fucking
pot.
45% THC levels. Okay, in pot, but they can't have it in a fucking edible. Now, why does that make sense?
We've got it to where we can get 200 milligram packs of gummy edibles here. It's like, wow.
Right, but they can do that in Maine too. But that's not. It's not. What do you call it? That's what I said earlier. It's
Medical.
it's the Delta shit that no. It's what did I say? What is Jerry's TV?
What?
Made up. What was it? What was? How do they
Synthetic.
call it? Synthetic. That's synthetic shit, Lisa. That's not even.
Thinking of excise tax.
Yeah, that thin
Not even.
synthetic stuff. I don't. It's bad
Yeah,
for
that
you.
synthetic shit will kill you.
Here's
Well, they-
something I
All these little pens.
never.
What?
Cartridges.
Yeah, they sell little vapes, and it's got fucking resin in it, just like
Yeah.
Oil.
yeah, that's real. That's from the plant. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, they squeeze it.
Yeah.
No,
Pretty neat process. Here's something I could never comprehend.
It's like
Every
$8 for.
Simple Alaskans.
Welcome back, Simple.
what-
I'll ask.
Here's something I could never understand is how they could put a drug. Right now in Detroit, there's this group of people that are trying to outlaw flavored cigarettes.
Oh, they've never done that here in Massachusetts and Maine.
But yet you can go buy a
Booze.
piece of candy with
Nope.
THC in it.
Cannabis.
You can also do what I did when you write to your congressman, senator, whoever you're going to write to. Do what I did, and they still haven't written me back. Say we can't get a flavored cigarette because you think that it's enticing to a minor because it tastes good, but we can flavor every booze under the fucking sun.
Yeah.
They flavor every pre-roll. Man, it smells good.
Okay, and I haven't got an answer back yet.
Oh, of course you won't. They make too much money off taxes on liquor. What was one of the only stores left to open during the Boogaloo flu? Liquor stores.
It's tough.
The first year that marijuana is recreational, it's very expensive. Once they start to build up a stockpile, it gets cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah,
and
price will go down.
That's good.
Oh, it's still expensive here.
California, eventually it goes backwards and people start going to the black market.
Yeah, it's still expensive here.
My thing is
But-
like the people.
Like I
there's
said, it's
people-
almost 50% THC.
You can get the cheapest anything right around the corner from me. People come from out of town, out of state. They've been
Yeah.
around the longest out of all 30 of the dispensaries up and down the road.
I just wish it wouldn't smell like skunk. I don't know what happened, but it all smells like
You
skunk
can
now.
get stuff that don't, yeah.
It's the good stuff. They got rid of the male plants is what happened. It's all female plants.
Stevie, I'll be right back.
Yeah, what kills
Right
me is the people that are so against it. Like, oh my God, marijuana, blah blah blah. I'm so against it. But they're the first ones that they don't take it. They don't have a second thought of throwing a fucking Oxycontin down their goddamn throat when they have a pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it's stubbed my toe. Give me some oxys.
If you don't have a tolerance, you've got to be careful. You better have a tiny bit. You got to
Right.
have a pretty good tolerance if you're going to have much of anything.
And roll up and put the bag in the safe before the kick in because you don't want to be eating 14 gummy bears.
That's pretty good. I'll try another one.
Hey, these even taste good. Like the brownies. I mean,
Mackinac Island.
what's better for the munchies than a nice chocolate brownie?
Ba-a-ra-ba. What?
So, we talked about the We talked about the line. We talked what some of the things we've covered so far. We've covered what?
In the middle of my list, number 3, and this could go up or down. I'm worried about civil unrest, big time. It was bad when Trump won the first time with BLM and Antifa. And it's some little cowardly fuckers that sneak up behind you, whack you in the back of the head, then take off running. That drives me insane. You
Well,
want to punch me in the mouth? Step in front, punch me in the mouth, and we'll go at it, and then whoever wins, wins. But they're ganging on people and burning down their own neighborhoods.
you'll never convince me that they weren't playing back in 2020 because it helped fucking
Well,
shake.
let me see. Pallets of bricks conveniently delivered to an alleyway.
I am so disappointed I didn't get to see the water cannons. Water cannons for man.
Because I talked to you about I talked to you about this earlier, Steve. On that note, what have you done, or what, Solis and Sticky Steve, what have you done? Do you feel the need to prepare for possible civil unrest? Is there anything that you've done that you think that you're willing? I don't want you sharing, I just bought 10,000 rounds of ammo. I don't want, is there anything you've done that, you feel like you've changed your ways of living your life because of you fear? I don't want to say fear, but you have a feeling that
it's not fear, it's just in case. Now, my feeling on it, no matter who gets voted in, I think bad shit could happen.
Could happen, yes.
Unfortunately. I don't think conservatives would come to arms, but it's getting very close with the way our government is acting.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yes, I lay in bed at night with escape plans and things like that and preventative measures going through my head half the damn night. I think it's the new way of life, unfortunately.
Our first preparation is we have your address written down on paper with a pen.
Okay.
Yeah, so is that part of your plan, is to just get the hell out of Dodge with Steve and get up to the homestead?
Yep.
Yeah.
More people, better.
Well, we'll have to set up a code knock so you don't get a 12 gauge through the door.
No, I'll just fire a couple rounds. Wait for you to come out. There you go. I have Charlie whistle.
Another thing we do in Ohio is we got a little extra water because we are in a city, and if the electricity goes out, the grid goes out, we're out of water.
Plenty of right.
You've seen it on video. I just purchased 2 30-gallon barrels, which are all cleaned and bleached and ready for getting filled up with water.
Extra boxes of tampons. I'm just kidding. You guys brought that shit up earlier.
Actually, I should buy a box of those starter mini ones, the little thin ones. That would be perfect for a 223 hole.
But
because I can't afford that quick clot shit.
I know, right? That stuff's expensive.
Yeah.
They'd use that shit for me at dialysis because they'd be giving me too much blood thinner. And then they'd be like, well, this stuff is really expensive. We can't give it to you every time.
Right.
And then I'd go buy some, and good grief.
In Ohio, you'll have my address too.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when we talk about, when I asked the question, is there anything you changed or whatever, I have made changes because I work in a suburb of Cleveland. I live in a suburb of Akron.
Right.
And Akron are fucking shitholes, dude.
I'll tell you one thing you need to do is find alternative routes.
Well, I have I want to say get home. I've got get home plans. in
Right.
case I'm at work and I leave work and I run into fucking roadblocks and civil unrest or whatever. I have changed things that I carry with me now, because I focused on getting home. As far as battery, well, I got one right here. I don't know.
That's
know.
interesting, Jay Watt. I'll look that up.
So, don't know if we're even going to have cell service, but just in case, I've got these, solar. It charges, and you don't have to have the sun on it to charge. Once
Oh, that's
it's
good.
but once it's charged, I can plug this into my phone and recharge my phone.
That's
And then
something I need to get. I'm too dependent on my what they call them, big old fuck generator. I'm too dependent on my generator.
You just want something like this. It comes with the hook on it, and it doesn't. It's not like it's not going to charge everything, but it will charge your phone up for a little bit, so you can make a couple phone calls.
I did a video on my personal shit hit the fan story, and I mentioned the most important thing is you got to remember it could last years. Don't always just be prepared for the next couple weeks. It could last for years or even longer.
Well, step one, you got to get to where you're going.
Stevie, you want one of these?
I can't.
Coming your way.
I can't prepare all that much because I'm dependent on the healthcare system to keep me alive every day.
Is there any way you can stock up? Do you have a good doctor where you could, with a soft voice, ask them for an extra bottle?
I have a small stockpile, and I have switched it now to 90-day supply instead of 30.
Okay. Look it up on the interweb how to preserve if you haven't. Some antibiotics need to be refrigerated.
I am of the opinion. Now, you're talking to somebody who I threw my back out every whatever, right? And I took a muscle relaxer.
You know how
that was 3.5 years old, and it had the same effect on me that it had that day I got them.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Now, I know the refrigerated ones have to be, there are antibiotics and everything that has to be refrigerated, and I get that. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones you just leave in your medicine cabinet, on the counter, wherever the fuck you leave your medicine.
Yeah, ibuprofen.
Understand your expiration dates. There's the manufacturer expiration date, and there's your prescription expiration date.
Oh, no, right. But
you've got years after that.
Right, but I'm of the opinion that medication doesn't have an expiration date.
Well, certain ones do, Mikey. Certain ones do, because the chemicals they make, when they get older, their compounds change.
You got to be careful.
Because I took some Sudafed one time.
Yeah.
That my wife was here, like, take these, it'll help you or whatever. Within 20 minutes, I felt like my heart was going to explode. I was sweating and everything. We called her sister, who's a pharmacist, and she's like, well, when did it expire? And my wife turns the package over and goes, oh, about 3 years ago. She's like, get him to the fucking ER. Because it's basically, it was like being on meth or something.
Right.
Wait a
minute. Isn't Sudafed one of the ones they use for meth?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to show an ID to buy Sudafed.
Yeah, that's got the go juice in it. So be careful with allergy meds.
Yeah, so they gave me an IV with something in it and pumped me full of other fluids and stuff.
Downers.
But Stevie, so I can't have like a giant satellite here. I mean, what do you call it? Satellite solar panel here, because I don't own the place. It's not, I rent. So, but on my lease it says I can't attach anything to, like, none of us can get DirecTV unless it's in the ground or whatever.
They got portable.
So I can get a little one, right? I can get a little one and do all that.
solar or whatever. But you can plug it into a USB and you can charge it.
Charge it, right?
And get a full and use it like as a backup battery.
A bunch of people use those when they go boondocking and stuff.
Yeah. But thing is, I got the clip on it, and I just clip it onto my bag. So most likely, if it's on my bag and I'm walking with it, it's going to get sun on it. As long as so that's just one thing that I started.
What are these styling things? Can somebody help an idiot out? What is this styling thing? What are those?
A what?
I'm probably pronouncing that one wrong too, there, Boyd.
He's on you tonight, man.
He's up my ass. Tickle my, at least bring a feather with you so I can laugh a little, will you?
So what was it?
They're why do I keep calling them satellite dishes?
Just say the word.
Huh?
Starlink?
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
Starlink are just satellites for the internet that Elon Musk has up.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, there's 2 YouTube channels I watch, and they both have one. They have a solar panel this big. They put out in the sun, okay, and it's connected to a little box, and then they call it Starlink, whatever the fuck they call it, and I don't know what it is. What does Starlink do?
That's like satellite service, isn't it?
Yeah. Starlink is satellite internet.
Okay.
Yeah, when you see Starlink go by,
but better than regular satellite internet.
You ever seen them at night when they're all in a row? They look like 10 stars in a straight line.
No, I'm talking about. Okay, I don't look up in the sky for them. I see these people that are out in the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
that have them.
That's your thing to get the satellite signal.
Oh,
I'm thinking GPS, Starlink, it's the same.
like satellite.
Yeah.
It's a satellite receiver, like a satellite phone.
Satellite radio.
How much do they mean? How much are they at? How much are those?
They cost about the same as cable once you buy the rig. It's like $99 a month or whatever. But I don't know if he's still being selective. But he was not selling to people in cities. He said people in the outlying areas need it first. Then he'll sell into the town. But that's just internet.
Fair fee of $5.99, and then it's $120 a month.
So the system costs what? $5.99.
It's $5.99 to get the hardware, and then $120 a month. It says it starts at $150 a month for unlimited data when inland, and best for RVs, campers, and other traveling residences.
I got a nephew that's a little wise ass, and he's kind of a little bastard, but I love him to death. And he's 30-something years old. It's not like he's a kid, but he says, "Hey, Mike," I go, "What?" He goes, "Are you still watching all this stuff about?" I says, "Yeah." He goes, "Here's my problem." I says, "With what?" He goes, "People call it off grid." He says, "You turn on YouTube to call it off grid." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Where do they go to download it all?"
Yeah, right.
He goes, "So are they off grid?" I says, "Well, here's the thing." I goes, "There's two. I truly believe there's two separate off grids. Okay, there's like a semi off grid, and then there's off grid, and then you don't even know those people because they're not on YouTube, they're not on social media because they're off grid." And I said, I think what people mean by, I think today's definition of off grid is not what you're thinking, and not what it was when I was growing up. Okay, I said, I think today's definition of off grid is they don't have, I mean, they still have the transportation to get to where they need to go.
There's
the simple Alaskans say that Starlink is on sale until October.
There's your basic Starlink, your little receiver and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, Chesler, that's what I was talking about because
Well, if I can't get cable at the homestead, my plan was to get a good laptop, do all my editing on, and then
Yeah.
go to McDonald's in town and buy a coffee and get free Wi-Fi and upload from there.
Why bother buying a free coffee? Just sit in their parking lot and use it.
Because they don't give you the code if you don't make a purchase. You need a code.
But once you get the code, isn't that locked in for the rest of the?
Changes it. They change it all the time.
I got you.
Otherwise, they'd have a parking lot full of hippies and shit using free Wi-Fi.
Hey, Steve, I wanted to point out you were talking about we were talking about solar panels. You can also supplement solar panels with wind turbines too.
Yes, but good luck finding a decent price windmill. I've been looking into them. Finding a windmill or a wind generator in the first place is kind of difficult because there's a lot of shitty ones out there that give you like 0.002 watts. So
Do you
it
have
takes
running?
like 3 days to charge your battery.
Do you have running water near you? Do you have a stream, river?
That's what I was going to ask.
Up yonder, yes, within 4-wheeler distance.
Is
Oh,
it?
so you can't use hydropower then.
No. I could rig something, with pumping water somewhere, but it wouldn't be profitable.
Right.
So
I got a wet spot out back, but Susie would have to bucket the water onto the thing. But I did find 2 springs on my property that I want to look into trying to develop them.
That's huge.
Yes. They weren't like super flowing, but they had the hole in the ground and the water was kind of coming up.
And you always know it's a spring.
Yeah.
Whether you can see it bubbling or not, because it'll be ice cold.
Yep. But I want to dig it out a little bit and put a filter pipe down in it so I can get clearer water, and then I'll have it tested before we actually drink it. But make sure it's not coming out of a nuclear waste dump or something. We had a spring here in this town for years. It was an old pipe sticking out of the side of a big steep hill by a river, by a creek, and people used to come and fill their jugs for years on that thing. They shut it down because up above it used to be a landfill.
that good water was just trash water everyone's drinking.
Yeah.
Wow.
It had to smell. Nobody would think to smell that shit.
It looked clear and it smelled fine. I don't think I ever tasted it, but I mean, for years, people would stop on that spot in the road and fill up milk jugs with their
We have
water.
a mountain. There's one in New Hampshire like that on the side of a mountain.
Right in Alaska.
Full vein, it'll taste like garbage too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Plus, there was an old cow farm up there, so there was all the cow shit, fertilizer, piss, all that flowing down.
Well, with water, that's one thing I've changed that I carry in my car more is because, like I said, if there is civil unrest and I have to abandon my car, I'm in great shape to run a fucking marathon, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a 35-minute drive for me. My big ass would have to truck through. The only way for me to get home is if I went through a national forest.
Unless you buy an electric bike.
Well, that's not a bad idea. But I'm saying
I'm telling you what.
To hoof it home because I run into something on my normal routes and I got to hoof it home. The only way for me to get home is through a national forest, and there is a river crossing, but there's areas of that river that's this deep. You know what I mean? It depends on where you go.
I don't know about crossing any rivers in Ohio after that train spill.
Yeah.
Pants might rot right off your legs.
But I've had I've added, you know, I've changed because I carry that bag, and I've changed things in that bag, determining on what I might need.
I used to do that every hunting season, fill my fanny pack with everything I could use or need or blah, blah, blah. About the second weekend, that sucker would be mostly empty. Because
Yeah, but I'm not packing for weeks. I'm packing for
get
one day
home.
to
Yeah.
get me, and maybe an overnight stay, maybe 2 days. So I've got a small tarp and just your standard emergency blankets.
Yep.
Fire. I got a fire kit in it. I've got some basic stuff as far as like energy bars, peanut butter cups that don't, they expire like 10 years from now. So peanut butter is a great protein that helps keep you going if you're hiking or walking. But I switched to stuff like that because it's more conceivable that I would use something like that than a whole big huge bug out kit or whatever.
Yeah.
And the one thing I used to carry that survival rifle, that 22. I used to keep it in that bag. Well, I pulled it from the bag. I still keep it in the car. I pulled it from the bag, but I don't think I would need a 22 rifle if I was just trying to get my ass home. Because I planned on using that for like small game hunting or whatever if I needed it.
Yeah. Longer term.
I'm going to have enough food to get me home, like with a mountain house, freeze dried meal, and then some peanut butter and some energy bars. But hang on, let me finish my thought here before. But I switched from the 22 is still in the car, but if I was to grab and go and try to get home, I've got the AR pistol now. I carry it in the car, because I want something that's got a little bit more oomph than a 22. So
Okay.
Just don't aim for the ear.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you ever had one of those fucking Maxwell House fucking.
Can you
out of the
your
bag.
mic up by the mouth, Mikey? Okay, maybe not.
Stevie loves that sound. Have you
Okay,
ever had one of those fucking TV dinners in the bag?
70s, actually.
I'm
Okay,
going to
go
ask
ahead.
this question one last time. Have you ever had one of those TV dinners in a bag?
Yeah, like the
The one
mountain
you
house.
just mentioned, Ohio.
Yeah,
Yes.
mountain house.
Have you had one of those before?
Yeah, the best one
You've
that I
had-
like is the.
Well,
Well, there's some of them that I don't like. There's like the egg. I don't do the eggs. I don't like. Because I did that.
Just the food in general. You've had one.
Have I? Yes, I eat them all the time
Okay.
when I go camping and stuff.
Okay, do yourself a favor. Turn that fucking package over and read the fucking salt content in one of those things.
Yeah, they're full of sodium.
Yeah, Mountain
Full
House.
full is one thing. Made up of is another thing.
They're made for lightweight backpacking. Period.
Yeah.
Hang
Well,
on.
that's why I went with
It
the
made-
Patriots. The
But they
Patriots
made-
have the
yes,
less salt and less preservatives.
Right, but
They're
I
made
have
for
one.
yes.
Bag.
They're made for lightweight backpacking, correct. However, they're typically made for those that hike distances and are using and sweating out all their sodium that they need. That's and it's like a food Gatorade,
Yeah, salt
except for the sodium content on it. My opinion is, you're better off going out getting a dehydrator and what do you call it, your food, and that way you just have to add you can do your own, and now you're not gonna be, not you Ohio or me because we're already there. Now you're not gonna go from 110 pounds to 240 because you're living off of fucking
that and blood pressure through
we're not
the
not talking living off of though,
You know?
dude. This is
He's
a
talking one day getting home.
one day getting home. This is getting home from my employment if something
I'm just
happens.
saying those things are dangerous. I'm telling you, they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ultimately, I
They
would
do
like
it
to
over
get a freeze dryer.
Fig Newton.
They're a
That's
little
what I'm talking about.
expensive.
Freeze dried. What did I say? Dehydrate. Sorry.
Yeah, same difference, sort of, but
Yeah.
freeze dried is a little better. A little
You know
better
who does
for
it
the
a lot
flavor.
is you know who does it a lot is Craig. Meet me outside. He'll I want to say it was Craig that did it. He did like American Sharp Suey and dehydrated that, put it in a bag, took it out one of those. I thought it was him. I could be wrong, but and then you know he added his water, heated it up and everything, and then boom, there's this fucking chop suey in the fucking woods. I think that's fucking awesome.
No, it is.
You know.
Now, one thing I did add, that it's just in the vehicle. I can take it or leave it depending on where if I want to grab it or not. But my bag, I have one of those Baofeng radios in it, and I have multiple channels programmed in that I know. You know, my buddy, that comes on here every once in a while, Thumper.
Yep.
He's big into comms, right? I got some comms that he listens to and goes back and forth with a lot of people in the militia type organizations. So I can listen to those comms, but I also have a lot of my local police and fire, so I can just listen to them like a scanner. So I can listen to what's going on in the area. But another thing that I have, like I said, I could take it or leave it because it doesn't have the best reception. You have to be kind of close. Is I have just a handheld CB radio, and I figured since I travel the turnpike a lot, CB radio might come in handy.
Yeah, get a lot of trucker chatter about roadblocks and shit.
Roadblock or what's going on.
Because when you're on a highway,
You're welcome, Boyd.
people are so freaking timid. A cop could come on and put out 4 cones, and idiots would stop and cause a traffic jam.
Yeah.
So always try to find. I'm looking for like dirt roads to get up to the homestead if I have to.
Yeah.
Zigzag might take all day, but.
And are you talking for a day? Are you talking you're bugging out? Are you talking
day? Did you have anything planned? Like I said, I don't think you were here when I started the conversation. I work in a suburb of Cleveland and I live in a suburb of Akron. Both shitty cities. Both like to burn the place down when shit happens.
Yeah.
No, we've had major riots here. If I get caught up in some of that shit and I can't drive home, I'm looking and I have to jump out and grab and go to avoid this shit and to make it home back to my family. What have I changed that I'm carrying? I went from a bug out bag or a bag like a survival bag.
Yeah, big.
Weighed like fucking 50 pounds to a smaller bag that weighs maybe 15 pounds at the max.
Well, and
I'm just carrying the necessities to get me home and maybe have to sleep in a wooded area or under someone's tool shed or something for one night. That way I can rest up and continue going. It's only a 35-minute drive for me, but like I said, I have to go through a national forest if I'm on foot.
Right.
So I would be fucking walking, and my fat ass.
Compass?
Well, I guess I'm lucky there because the city that I live beside, and I live beside the city too. Maybe not as big as Akron. I know it's not as big as Cleveland, but it's only got 110 or 115,000 people in it. But I only live 5 miles from my full-time job, and I live in my town 3 miles from my part-time job.
That's cool.
So I could walk if I had to.
Yeah, but are you still driving though, Mikey?
Am I what?
Are you still driving for work?
Not as much as I used to.
So you don't do New Hampshire and shit anymore?
No, I don't go to Maine anymore. I don't get to see Jerry anymore. Nothing. I left that job.
Yeah,
that was the one that they fight. That was one that let me go when I got hurt. 2022. You know.
I was just wondering if anybody changed anything.
But I did. I'll tell you what, though. I did when I traveled up to see Jerry. Jerry will tell you. I you know, I'm not making any. I carried. I had a duffel bag. I'm sorry. I had a backpack, and I had everything in that fucking backpack. And now you're talking. I'm only going overnight. Okay, so there were times that I would leave East Hartford, Connecticut, and drive all the way to Bangor, Maine. That's a 5-hour hike. Okay. And but there were times that I didn't. I would leave Haverhill, Mass, which was like a 3-hour and 15-minute ride from to Bangor. But in that backpack, I had dishes in here so I can say it. I had a remember the fishing kits, the fishing grenade bombs I gave you.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
back in the day? I had
I
one of
still got-
those.
But boy, I turned the light on next to
Right.
me.
I had one of those. No, he doesn't want the light on. He wants the light off. It's too
Now he
bright for him.
wants you to turn off the echo.
So I had that. I had a first aid kit. I had pretty much everything I needed. And the only weapons, of course, I can't carry a weapon. But I did have a couple of knives with me.
I got this. This
At
is
all
all I
times.
need to make it home.
Exactly. No, but I did, and then because in different seasons, I always carried. I always in the truck now. I always had a top and a blanket, and I never sleeping bag, but I always had a top and a blanket with me. And I wasn't even doing it just in case shit hit the fan. I was doing it in case shit hit the fan via truck breaking down, and now I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not to Bangor yet, and it's going to be forever for me to get help. And
Right.
it's the middle of the winter. The truck don't start. Now I'm freezing to death. So I did it for those reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But in that backpack, even with the first aid kit, I would have my spring through like October, middle of October, end of October. I had afterbite if I get bit by a bee, whatever. I had everything. Because if you remember, Howard's not even here. If you guys remember, at my other job, my
Ice cream.
my other driving job with the sign company, the sign distributor company, and I got caught in a snowstorm, and they were coming for help, but they were going to be a few hours, and the cop gave me his lunch. Remember I was telling you guys that? Ever
No,
since
I
that,
don't remember that at all. That's
Oh, yeah,
cool.
I got I was in a truck. I couldn't make it up this hill, and they were closing the road anyway through the notch. They were closing it. They weren't letting anybody go through. And I couldn't. I was only in this very small box truck at the time. I had no weight, nothing. I just couldn't move.
Right.
The snow was deep as fuck in the whole 9 yards. And this cop, this state trooper actually showed up. And he says, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah." I says, "Help's on the way." He says, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay." And he says, "Do you need to make any calls?" I said, "Well, I can't now." I said, I did earlier. He says, "Why?" I says, "No, the truck starts and everything." I says, I just don't have the bars to do it." And he says, "Well, do you need?" I says, the only person I really care to call," I says, "because my work already knows I'm here. The only person I care to call is my wife." He gave me his cell phone. I called the wife, told her what was going on. And but he said to me, he says, "They're going to be a while." He said, and I says, "All right, no big deal." I says, "I'm good." I said, "I got 2 bottles of water and 2 packs of smoke." So he says, "You have any food?" He's like, "Do you have any food?" Yeah, I go, "No." He says, "Hang on to me." Goes back to his cruiser, literally comes out with a brown paper bag and gives me his lunch.
Wow.
You know, and so they finally came to get me out, and because everybody was, it was a while because everybody was just stuck. You know what I mean?
Sure. Traffic, all kinds
Yeah,
of
it was just like I had to wait my turn, and I'm in an area where it's not so populated. You know what I mean?
Right.
No, the other one, Boyd.
Remember, guys, the more food you eat, the more water you need. If you ain't
I
got
was-
enough water,
Yeah.
don't eat.
I
Maybe
was going to say that.
Boyd, you know when you're going up 302, if you're coming out of if you're coming out 302 and you're going towards Twin Mountain, okay, just before you get to Carroll County, right? And when you're going up the hill, and then the road closes, and you're going through the notch before you get to Twin Mountain up on the left hand side. That whole section, they close it all off.
Am I echoing again, guys?
But so what
No,
happened
you're
was
good now.
so what I wound up doing was the guy made it and everything, and he actually towed me about 8 miles back, so I can, because the roads were just terrible. It was just on that whiteout. It was just fucking unbelievable. I've never seen it like that.
Right.
And so I finally make it home. I didn't do any other deliveries. I went right home. So you're an asshole, Jay. So no, what I did was I called, because I used to go up there every Monday. So I called the state police barracks in New Hampshire. I just put in state police, you know what I mean? And I said, hey, I want to know how do I find out who patrols such and such an area on such and such a day? Just because I want to thank him again. He says, so I told him what they did, and he says, da da da. So I wound up meeting this guy that following Monday, a different guy that knew him, and so I met him, and he says, what? So I told him the whole story. He says, yep, that's him. He says he does that for people. He said, I says, well, I want to give him his lunch. I want to be able to buy him lunch, but I know he's not, Anyways, long story short, he hooked me up with him, and I bought him lunch.
How cool.
But I just think it was kind of cool that,
Yeah, guy gives his sandwich up.
Yeah, no, he
That's
did.
freaking awesome.
Yeah. It was really.
I mean, that's a little bit beyond his job description,
Yeah. Yeah. So ever since that day, I've always had a bag for the seasons, if you will. You know what I mean?
Right.
And extra stuff, extra clothes, extra, and when I worked at the sign company, I wasn't spending overnights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I did it just for extra clothes. If I got wet, if I had to leave the truck and I got soaked, whatever.
Pooped your pants.
Whatever. I brought extra clothes. But I tell the wife the same thing. Granted, she doesn't go out on trips like that, but I always tell her, and she does it. And she's got a couple of blankets in the car just in case, the car breaks down, and
Yeah.
we have Geico. And, if the Geico guy says, "Oh, I'm not going to be there for an hour and 10 minutes," well, that's an hour and 10 minutes less of her freezing her ass off.
Yeah,
sitting
a
in
car.
the vehicle.
If you're stuck in a car in a blizzard, you're better off digging a hole in a snowbank, because a car acts like a refrigerator.
Yep.
The steel sucks the cold right out of you. I mean, the heat right out of you.
I used to build me some killer forts when I was a kid, and I'd be all nice and cozy warm.
Yep. All it takes is like a little candle, and you, holy shit, unzipping your coat.
Well, another thing that I was looking at is, like, you said extra clothes and stuff. I put extra socks in my bag because, socks are important.
Yep.
But I wear
that, and I watch Forrest Gump.
I wear these every day for work. So I think that they're waterproof. They got the Gore-Tex in them and all that stuff. So no matter what the weather, I'll have these on my feet if I'm at work. But if I'm someplace else.
Are those Red Wings?
No, these are
Oh,
big.
okay. I got a pair of Red Wings that look just like those.
I got an extra pair of Rockies,
You got
and
black Red Wings?
I've had since 2016,
Yeah.
and I didn't pay for them. The department did, and they were like $400. So those
Rocky,
things,
pretty nice.
these to replace them, and the only reason I'm replacing them is because the little part of the sole came loose right here, and I was just going to get some of that shoe glue or whatever and glue it back together and use those for like spare boots. But I
Yeah,
didn't.
wear and tear on it, but those are Red Wings.
Yeah, I got a pair of like hiking boots that are all like look just like that, except for they're not Red Wings. I forget what they are. Uh,
These
Magnum,
are
Magnum boots or whatever.
safety toes on them, but
Yeah,
it's
steel
fiber.
toe.
It's fiber. It's not steel, so
That's
they
a
don't get cold.
composite toe.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not steel, but it's a composite. Which is good for wintertime because I know you had steel toes on in wintertime.
Am I the only freaking numbnut in here? I wore steel toes for years. I wore the the Carolinas and the Stevie. What's the other one? The Carolina logging boots. They're work boots, but they got the heel on them, and
yeah.
basically a logging boot.
Like
Right.
lineman boots.
Yeah, I wore those Carolinas, and then what's the other one I used to wear? I don't know. They're like $225 a pair of boots.
Wolverine used to make good boots.
But they never. But they were. And I don't mind spending that much money on a pair of boots because they lasted me.
They last, yeah.
But they were always steel toe. My toes never got cold in steel toe boots.
Well, you must have had them big enough where you had the room and stuff. I don't know. I've never wore steel toes before. Those are the only safety boot I've ever worn.
Always was. I used to always wear steel toes.
I never had an issue with steel toes in the wintertime when you're working. The first time I noticed it is when I wore my, because I had like old cheap Texas ears from Kmart, but they were steel toe. I wore them deer hunting one time, and just sitting in a deer stand with steel toes, your feet get cold. Real cold.
Kmart boots, period. Sitting in a tree stand, your toes are getting cold.
So I'll give you a little. I'll give you a little to do. I'll give you a little.
Back in the 80s and 90s.
I'll give you a little helpful hint if you're sitting in a tree stand. Because like Stevie just said about the car, you're sitting in steel, and that's what you're sitting on. Granted, you might have a pad, but right. You're sitting in a tree stand, Ohio. Do yourself a favor. Go to your local fucking coffee shop before you go hunting. Go to your local coffee shop. Grab 4 of those cardboard trays. 4 of them. Take the 4 cardboard, the cardboard trays to carry your coffees in. Grab 4 of those. Okay. Put those as you sit in your tree stand. Put those under your feet. I will guarantee you. I will give you my paycheck the next time we talk if you tell me your foot got cold.
Right.
I used to do it. I did it the night the Patriots played Tennessee. And it was like, I don't know, minus fucking 10 or 15 or something. Who the hell it was. All right. I was standing on those. My dude, I tell you, and we sat there for hours.
I learned the hard way, or actually by accident. I now take a little square piece of carpet with me deer hunting and throw that on the cold ground or on the cold tree stand. My feet on that. Oh, it's like night and day.
It's an insulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't get, because you're not touching the cold steel from the tree stand.
Yeah.
Right? Your foot's not on that. Your foot's above it.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Well,
you won't.
Here, I'm just hunting from the second-story bedroom window at my mom's.
Well, that ain't hunting. That's like fucking stump.
It's like
Hey, J. Watt, I got a good survivor story about a Coleman lantern saving our ass. Me and 2 buddies went to northern Michigan. It was our first trip without parents. We were like 17, 16, and spent 3 days near Mayo, Michigan. It got down to 32 below, and all the propane either froze up or ran out. And we we weren't giving up. It was our first by ourselves trip. We spent 3 days and 4 nights, or however it worked out, and the only heat we had was a Coleman lantern. We were literally cooking hot dogs over it, trying to stay warm, and it saved our ass.
I never knew that the Coleman lantern would do that.
Oh, yeah, you forget and leave that handle up. It is.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Torch you.
Oh no, you'll get. Yep. I used to use it. We used to call it horn pouting, right? We're going for catfish. Our catfish, yes, I know, are very much smaller than all you rest of you people. And I used to use my grandfather had bamboo rods, and that's all we used for catfish. So bamboo rods with a fucking string and a hook at the end of it.
Yep.
And we'd use those. But we'd sit on the bridge, and I'd have a lantern, my grandfather. And the only thing I didn't like about the lanterns, fucking bug catchers.
Yeah. But at least it kills.
But other than that, you can see, and I swear to God, it attracted the fish to begin with. But that's just
it does. We do that crappie fishing. You put a lantern on the ice, and it draws minnows, and then the fish come to the minnows.
right. Yeah, I love those lanterns. Those globe lanterns with the I think they're the bomb. I love those lanterns.
J-Watt, I still have my dad's Coleman lantern from when I used to go camping when I was 6 years old. In the original box. I covet that thing.
You know what
Absolutely
else, J-Watt? I don't know if you ever heard this one, but you know how the people do the well, not just overnights, but people like me who want to do it, but I have everything to do it. I just haven't gone yet. The hot tenting, winter hot tenting. So a very good friend of mine told me. He said, as long as your tent is ventilated properly, and you have he said, even if you don't do this, you should have a carbon monoxide detector with you anyways. And he said, and you don't put the fucking carbon monoxide detector up in the air. He says, you put it at head level where you're going to be sleeping. He says, because that's where you're going to be breathing from when you're sleeping.
Also, that's where it kind of hovers.
Exactly, right? So I said, okay. He says, do yourself a favor, whether you're by yourself or he says, because some guys sleep through the night and they don't get up to stoke a fire or whatever. I says, yeah. He goes, bring yourself a small bag of charcoal. He says, you know how they smell a small bag of charcoal? I go, yeah. He goes, put about half of that in your wood stove, in your tent. As long as you have proper ventilation, he says, I says, and you know what? I'm thinking about it. Now, I just used charcoal tonight to do my steaks, okay? And I just went outside to have a cigarette. That fucking thing is still hot, heat coming out of that fucking grill.
That's pretty damn good.
And there ain't a lot of. Hey, Zach, what's going on? Working class woodsman told me this. He says it's important to have. He says first off, you got to make sure you have the ventilation for it.
Well, you need that if you got a wood stove in your tent.
Anyways,
right. But charcoal puts off less fumes than wood because all the bad stuff is already burned off the charcoal.
Right.
I used to put a little portable barbecue grill in my well house and burn charcoal in that just to keep the pipes from freezing when it got really bad.
Yep. Good idea.
Yep. So, because I thought to myself, I'm like, do I really want to get up every fucking, because the stove I bought, it's larger. Did it on purpose. Bought a larger stove. can put more wood in it. I don't have to get up every fucking hour and a half.
Burning small wood blows.
Exactly.
My son just got home, came to say hi. Went to a concert tonight.
Oh, good. He made it back.
Home safe. That's awesome.
Safe. And then he said, we went to go get something to eat. I was like, where'd you go? He's like, Swenson's, the place where he works. I'm like, but
Get a good discount.
And you weren't smart enough to say, and you didn't bring me home a burger.
It's fine. Yeah, does it look like I need it? I had sloppy joes for dinner. I made sloppy joes with potato salad. So, but I went tent camping, winter camping twice. The first time was tolerable, but I did freeze a lot at night in the tent. I didn't get much sleep. I mostly laid there like, God damn, this sucks,
On the ground?
Were you
On
on
the
the ground?
tent,
Yeah.
So my buddies taught me into doing it again about, I think it was about 2 years later. Same guy. I'm like, okay. I seen a video, so I was like, I'm gonna try it. Your 50 cal ammo boxes, the metal ones, the ammo cans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Made a stove out of it.
Those, right? I went and bought a bag of lava rocks.
Oh.
Took these lava rocks when we went camping, and I put them in the fire. And then I used the clicky tong thingies that we used, turn over the hamburgers and shit with. Yeah. I took all those lava rocks out of the fire, put them in that ammo box, shut the lid on it, carried it into my tent, laid a piece of cardboard that I doubled over down on the tent floor, put that ammo box on there full of those lava rocks, and they heated that tent up for the entire night. I mean, it was a very small, it's called a 2-person backpacker tent.
Yeah, you and your backpack, that's about it.
Exactly.
It's a 1-person tent is what it is. But yeah, that was something I seen on YouTube or whatever. I was like, I'm going to try that, and it worked. I watch a lot of videos that people burn candles when they're, in their tents.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I don't trust an open flame.
I don't do that.
I had a hard time trusting the lava rocks because I know how they work.
Especially when you got gas, and open flames can be horrible.
I'll trust a wood stove, and that's about as far as I'll go.
Yeah, you remember that? What? Every gas barbecue used to come with lava rocks back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
That was like a huge thing.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the guy I watched do a video on, he was putting
12:30.
The rocks, just regular rocks, whatever you can find. But then he said you got to be careful because certain rocks, you heat them up, they'll blow up. Sandstone, stuff like that.
Yep.
So
cinder blocks do too. Trust me. I made a fireplace out of that
because they're meant for that.
If you a three-person tent works good for 2 people.
Right.
So it'd be a 4-person tent. That's why I got like a 8-man fucking 10-man teepee. Actually, it's no.
You gotta watch out. Big tents too, because you can freeze your ass off in a big tent because you can't heat. I made the mistake of buying one of them family monsters with a divider in it.
Yeah.
Dude, I never froze so bad in a tent in my life.
That's why I bought a big stove. So, but my teepee is 10 feet diameter. All right. So, but Ohio, you slept on a pad, I assume.
Yeah, I have a pad that rolls up, goes underneath. Right. It's in my backpack.
You want to make it? You want to do it again and be enjoyable about it?
When we go family camping, I have a big man fucking cot with a mattress on it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can do that. You can do that winter camping too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were just
sled. You just need a sled to bring it in. I mean, I don't know how if you're doing it by your car, if you're doing it by your truck, whatever. But if you're not going to camp like that, and you're going to walk into somewhere, or you're going to use a snowmobile, or whatever,
Yeah.
You can still, I mean, but if you're backpacking, winter backpacking, obviously then it's not, something you can.
Right on, Jay Watt.
Hey, these are the same guys I camped with one time that they come up with this brilliant idea that we're only going to take what you can carry in your backpack, right? Okay. So I do my tarp. I didn't have a tent at the time, so I used a tarp and some line, made like a ridge line, just hung a tarp over it. Had my sleeping bag, which it's a stuff bag, so it gets only about this big for summer camping, and a little bit of food and water and stuff like that. I get there, these dudes are walking in back to the woods with fucking one on each side carrying coolers, and one guy brought like a little buddy heater and stuff. I said, "Hey, what happened to only what you can carry in your backpack?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we didn't think we could, we're just going to do a regular camp out." I was like, "Well, no one fucking told me." So I roughed it for that night. I stayed in that shit, and everybody else was all, cozy warm with their buddy heaters and shit. And it was about 3:00 in the morning. I got up and stoked the fire and ended up just wrapping my sleeping bag around me and sit by the fire till the sun came up. And then it was one of those, didn't even roll shit up. I just grabbed it all and threw it in the back of the car and said, "Fuck you guys, I'm going home," when the sun came up.
I did that once bow hunting. Some dumbass forgot his sleeping bag. And we were sleeping in the back of a pickup truck, which is basically a slab of iron. And all I had on was my one-piece hunting suit. It was thin, insulated. And I ended up getting up in the middle of the night. I couldn't take it no more and stoked the fire and curled up right around that bitch and went right to sleep like a baby. Glad I didn't catch on fire. But man, that truck was cold.
But
Those blow-up camping beds are awesome, as long as they don't get a leak in it.
I don't have a blow-up camping bed. I have a.
Simple Alaskans, thank you very much for coming. It was great seeing you.
Nice to meet. It was nice meeting you, Simple Alaskans.
Take care, Simple Alaskans.
Yeah, I think we're about ready to get out of here anyhow. It's after
12:30.
midnight, I believe. 12:30. Damn.
12:30 for those who live on the East Coast time.
Right. Alaska, it's probably already tomorrow or
No, it's 8:30.
still yesterday.
It's 8:30.
Well, in other words,
Well, let me say this.
dinner.
Let me say this. When did I call her? My niece, I forget because of daylight savings, but I know at one point Anchorage is 4 hours behind us.
Right on.
Well, behind me on the East Coast.
I can't remember exactly where Simple Alaskans is.
Well, before we take off, Steve, do you want to? We'll do some of that soap, the bar soap, a bottle of the beard oil, and then a little tin of the beard balm.
Oh, awesome. I'll stick around for a minute, Simple Alaska.
And
that's awesome. Oh, I might have just got you in trouble shipping something to Alaska.
Well, it depends on who wins, right?
Sorry, bro.
See, I was right. Simple Alaskans, I was right. You're 4 hours behind us. See,
yeah.
I know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I want to move to that state.
Go for it, Ohio. It's your gig.
Trying to figure out how we want to give it away.
Just do your old the old number system is the easiest way.
Like write the number down and then whoever hits it.
Yep. Well, we trust you. You're an honest feller.
I do. It's simple Alaskans. There's a couple of places in the U.S. that I am not allowed to go by myself because I will never probably come home.
I see Shalisa is a premature number injector.
Alaska is number one.
Oh no, look what I started.
Okay, let's see. So we're not going to be here all night.
Between 3,000 and 100,000.
So we'll just go We'll go 1 through 50.
When do we start?
Well, hang on. I'm going to write the number down.
Yeah, don't nobody start yet.
Okay, the number is written down. I'll set the pen down.
You better look. The numbers are already rolling.
That's
Well-
not how it works.
Let's see. I see Jay Watson said I'm out.
49, 48.
I'll type go in the comments, and that's
Too late. The people are already gone, man.
Yeah, it's anything after that. Jay Watterson said I'm out. So anything I'm watching, the numbers come up.
You ready?
46. 41.
Yeah, type go, Steve.
Start now.
Oh, now you want to start.
Hey, you got your number in there. What are you complaining about?
We'll do that. We'll do it then that way. Then works for me.
You sh-
Jeremy. One.
that's his dating bracket between 28, 27, and 18.
Shalise.
33.
Oh, Mike,
33 it is.
I typed 33 at the same fucking
that's
time.
awesome. Congrats.
I did 44, 33, and then I was going to go 22.
Hike.
Give it to Mike.
Ohio, do you have it with you?
Well, it's downstairs.
Oh, okay.
But did you
Cool beans. That's awesome. That's good. No, you didn't win, Jay. Watch Alyssa won. Oh my God, Jay Watt thinks he won. No, bro. She put 31, then 33. You put 40. I put whatever. No, she got 33.
I did 44, then I did 33, and I was about to do 22.
Good night, Mr. Boyd. Good seeing you, kid.
Night, everyone. We shouldn't be allowed to win on the panel.
Why? Long as we don't sneak the numbers like back in the old days.
Yeah, I'm going to look at his numbers.
This ain't Jamie time.
Never feel bad
So
about
if I did this, would this be wrong?
Oh, no, you should be kissing his butt.
You didn't even see it. Good night, Simple. Great meeting you. I'm looking forward to watching your videos.
pretty good. He does have one or two a little bit ranty ones, but they're still good. Mellow guy.
I like that.
One of a few videos ago I watched, they trying to fix up their trail into the homestead. Holy crap. Little swampy, little brushy.
Yeah, fucking
Beautiful though. And what was the one I watched that had the visitor? Oh, a big ass porcupine come a visiting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Was it a porky?
I had I did a video on my sister's place in Vermont.
Night, everyone.
Good night. At my sister's place, a porcupine eating fucking out of an apple tree. It wasn't eating the bark of the apple tree. It was at the top of the apple tree eating the fucking apples.
Really?
A porcupine. I got a video on my thing.
No shit.
Yeah. I said to my sister, I says, hey, I said to my brother-in-law, I says, hey, where's your fucking 22 kid? I said, we'll have that thing skinned out in fucking no time. We'll be eating that fucker. And he's like, let me tell you something. He said, two things would happen if you shoot that fucking porcupine. I said, yeah, we're going to get fat. He goes, no, we're going to get dead. Not divorced. I'm not going to get divorced. We're going to get dead. I go, why? He says, your sister feeds that fucking thing. She throws everything out there front. Everything.
Oh, Lord.
I go, don't porcupines just eat bark and shit? He
They
goes,
usually eat pine bark.
yeah. So I said, he goes, well, then what's he doing in an apple tree? He goes, he's in that fucking apple tree every night of the week.
Wow.
And I'm like, no way. He says, really? When your sister gets back here, ask her. Sure and shit, she comes back. I goes, hey. She goes, what? I go, Rob shot the fucking porcupine. And she just gave him this stare, like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, Emery, I'm joking. I says, I wanted to shoot it. She says, and then she looked at me right in the eye and said, I'll shoot you. And I'm like, it doesn't belong in an apple tree. You know?
The trick is just don't try to catch them when they fall.
Right?
I had a
No, people make like what do you call it out of their needles? Like artwork. You know what I mean?
yeah. Native Americans used to make
Some catches.
cut them and make beads and stuff out of them.
Yeah.
I've never seen one with really good quills. Usually they're like half-ass.
I've never seen one.
You never seen a porcupine?
Never seen a porcupine.
Oh my good God!
They're
The last porcupine I saw.
northern.
The last porcupine I saw, with no word of a lie, if that some bitch wasn't 30 pounds, I missed my guess.
Yeah, I've seen some
Absolutely
huge ones.
fucking enormous.
I've seen one at the zoo, and the one at the zoo is fucking huge. I mean, it looks like
I think those are like African or something.
yeah, but yeah, I've never seen one in the wild.
A guy I knew hit one on a dirt road. It jumped out in front of him. He hit him. Holy crap. He had to replace every belt and hose on that motor. And I think he got a flat tire too.
I've never seen a moose. I've seen an elk when we were out west at the Grand Canyon. We were camping out in the tent. I kept hearing something in the morning when I woke up, and I unzipped the tent, and there was a big ass bull elk just grazing in the campground. You know.
Thank goodness it wasn't a bear.
Yeah, Jezza, my dogs used to find him too. She was a pot beagle, pot boxer.
Right.
It sucked. I'd watch my grandfather. My father'd hold her in the body. My grandfather'd have the fucking pliers or the channel locks. He's like, and that fucking dog is howling like a mofo.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I've seen that, Jay Watt, the breastplates. All right, let's get out of here, fellas. Now we got rid of the women. I want to thank everybody. We had 418 comments tonight. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And thanks everybody for participating. Had some great comments. Maybe we'll actually, hey, 2 in a row, Mike.
Right?
Maybe we'll see you next week.
I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.